Previously on Magical Girl Ani.
Ha ha ha. You're going down, Magical Girl Ani. You'll see what I have to say about that, evil Stitch. Sobble, let's do this.
Can we just skip to the video already? Like, this is taking too long.
But I didn't even get to finish my transformation yet.
Oh my god, I don't even want to fight you anymore. I know you guys are probably thinking that intro just ate because it did. Hi, I'm Ani the Midnight Fox, and I am a Magical Girl YouTuber, but I like to do other things like commentary, gaming, and baking, and such. I know some of you guys are YouTubers as well, and you like want to create your own gacha series or just series in general. And you know, I thought it's about time I help you guys out. I don't know. This is my first time wearing my glasses on camera. I don't know how to feel about it without. With. I'll probably just fluctuate with them. Okay, number one, first thing on the list is starting the series. Number one hardest thing is coming up with the idea, the title, the theme, and just really where to start. First thing, I feel as though in coming up with the idea, this is pretty hard, but like, just try to think of things that you feel like, or you haven't seen in like shows or anime, or just in general, something that really isn't common.
Another thing that can help, I forgot to mention this in the video, another thing that can help is taking inspiration from other series. Like, especially if you're a Magical Girl series, there's tons of Magical Girl shows out there, such as Wings, Glitter Force, Pretty Cure, Sailor Moon, you name it. Really try to like look at those series and take inspiration from that.
What I would really suggest is writing your ideas down. It doesn't even have to be relevant to the series. Just write an idea that you have, like for a book or a comic or anything. Just write it down so that it could potentially help you later in your series. Really good way to just straight up to start is like design your character that you want to be like the main of your series, or just any type of character. Build a whole team for your Magical Girl series, and then you're like, let me think of a story based off these characters.
I understand it can be different for everyone. So some people are better at creating the designs and then making the theme, but if you don't like work well with that, you can also just pick the theme out first and then work on the characters. Also, when it comes to creating titles, I suggest having the word force or charge after it, or you can use the type of hero or superhero type that your Magical Girls are going to be. So if they're Pretty Cure, they're going to be Pretty Cure at the end of the series title, or if they're fairies, then put fairies and such.
Oh, I want this character to have this personality. Oh, I want this character to have that personality. And then it just kind of has a ripple effect, and you keep growing, you keep working, and all of a sudden you have an entire series. Step 2, making the characters. Now, this is typically the most fun part. However, it does take some time depending on how many characters you have. Really, when making the characters, you got to think of how many there's going to be, the color you want to use. Like, it's a lot of stuff that comes into the play. You have to make sure, well, you don't have to make sure, but I suggest having diversity in your groups. When you're creating the amount of characters that you want, I'm just going to say for like the main team of Magical Girls, do not, and I mean do not, make a lot of Magical Girls. Now, I'm not saying that you can't, because it has been done before. Like Shining Rainbow Pretty Cure, it's a lot of Pretty Cures on that team, and it's still a good series. There's Sailor Moon, there's a lot of Sailor Scouts, and it's still a good series. I just suggest to like For you to maintain your series and your mentality and everything, and for you to develop your characters, do not have a whole bunch of magical girls at once. So personally, I feel as though if you have a lot of characters, it's kind of hard to give each character their own character development, unless it's like Sailor Moon. Sailor Moon had 5 seasons, and it was a whole bunch of Sailor Scouts, and they all had their own story. And you want to know why it worked? Because they had all that time, and you don't want to do all that. If you're gonna have a bigger group, try to like spread it across the entire season. But next, when it's coming to making the characters, is the outfits and the design. I cannot stress this enough. Make your characters obviously from the same team. It just doesn't make sense. Please make your outfits like look the same. They don't have to be exactly the same, because obviously you want to give your characters personality. You obviously want to give them differences between each other to make them recognizable. But please make your like series, the outfits of your main characters, please make them obviously from the same team. I feel as though this is kind of hard to describe, but make your characters recognizable. And when I say recognizable, I mean like make them different, make them unique, so that people know that that's your character from your series. Like, for example, my series, Aya has white hair, and she's a black girl, and she's wearing pink, and the outfit contains black colors and white colors, and it's very clear who she is. It's very clear that she's pure marshmallow, and that she's from my channel. It's very clear who her character is. However, if you make a character that's like all the colors on the outfit is pink or magenta, and it's like it's no variety, it's no like stability, no balancing within the colors, your character is just gonna look like any other pink magical girls. You have to make your character different. Step 3, writing. This is the longest process, and it is the hardest process as well. And honestly, I feel as though you should really start with the episode prompts. And that's like the title and like a quick snippet of what you want to happen in that episode. So you're probably thinking like, well, Ani, I struggle with coming up with episode ideas and themes and stuff. I like think of books or like shows I've watched, and I'm like, oh, I want to create an episode just like this show, how they did it. But like Glitter Force, they had a beach day. I'm like, oh, I want to do a beach day in my series. Simple as that. You could think of like things that you want to do with your friends, like, oh, I want to go with my friends to a movie theater. You can make your characters in that series go to a movie theater. Now titles, you don't really have to put that much effort into them. You could really just put episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You don't really need to be that creative with the episode title, but what the episode prompt or like the little consensus of what's gonna happen in the episode, that's really important. I did an episode timeline, but honestly, just write down the ideas that you want to have in an episode, and once you're ready to make your timeline, use those notes and those things that you wrote down to create your episodes. Plot episodes versus filler episodes. Oh my god, this is probably one of my favorite things. Like I was talking about before, you need to at least have a few episodes for your characters to have some sort of character development in. Let me explain. Plot episodes are episodes that explain or go towards the finale or plot of the series. Filler episodes are just episodes that, like in the title or in the phrase, fill up the series. It's just an extra episode. It's just the episode where the characters are just having fun. It's nothing that's important that happens in the episode. That doesn't mean that you cannot put anything in the episode that is important towards the plot. However, typically filler episodes don't really have anything. There's character development episodes, plot episodes, and filler episodes. Typically, I suggest that you put character development episodes as filler episodes. You could start off with a filler episode, right? Say like, I'll give episode 13 and 13.5 as an example. That was a filler episode. It was the baking contest. That was a filler episode. However, towards the end, I gave plot, which is when they got bubble mode and they learned about the sugar room modes. You see how it turns from filler, and at the end, or it could be really anywhere within the episode, but typically at the end, you can add a little bit of like a spoiler or like a preview into the plot. I'm gonna put my glasses back on because the screen is kind of hurting my eyes. I try to have like 3 episodes done before I make the next episode. So like, I'm making episode 30. I should already have 3 episodes after episode 30 already written, so that when I'm finished with episode 30, I can write the script for episode 34 and start editing and creating the actual video for episode 31. And next is within the writing of the episode of one season. When writing episodes for one season, always, and I mean always, have 2 important parts in that season. So the first part should be like the mid finale. Mid finale is like, it's a 25 episode series. Episode 13 to like 16 should be the mid finale. And that could just be like the characters are learning something new, they're unlocking some sort of superpower, or they're learning some new information about the villains or something, or like they meet a mid-season. It has to be something that's mid-season that's very important to the plot. Number 2 is the finale. The finale should be like 3 episodes-ish. So the finale and the mid-finale is pretty important. Always have that. You don't have to have a mid-finale, but you really should. If it's a longer series, you really should. Your viewers are probably going to get bored of having to watch filler episodes all the time. You want to give them some sort of plot episodes so that they can like theorize or something. And the next thing is the plot. The big part, the big chunk, the big thing about the series, the most important thing, the overall plot. Now, this will take time. When I started writing episode 1 for Sugar Rush PURA, I did not have all these ideas in my head already. It takes time. It takes time to write the entire series. And honestly, you can go throughout the series without knowing the entire plot. As long as you keep your series open enough, leave your episodes so that you can add chunks of the story in. Like, the whole story does not have to be complete season 1. I just had a brain fart. I'm so sorry, guys. When it comes to creating the ideas for the plot, I'm not really sure how I can help with that. I suggest just like watching, like me, I watch a lot of shows. Like, I binge watch shows. So, you know, I'm pretty educated in plots and like in books and in story writing. So yeah, just try to do that and it'll come to you. As long as you really are dedicated to trying to make this plot and complete it, it'll come. Okay, step 4 is things you should not do while writing the episode script. Let me tell you guys, not every character is gonna have the same amount of lines, because it doesn't matter. You're trying to tell a story. As long as you have episodes that are made for each character, at least one episode is made for each one character in your series, then not every character needs to have the exact same amount of lines in your series. You don't need every character to speak in the series for you to convey your story, basically, is what I'm trying to say. And then, how long should the episodes be? The episodes should be like at least like 10 minutes to 25 minutes. 10 minutes is minimum, 25 minutes is maximum. That's it. And that's the little snippet for number 4. Now on to number 5, which is music. Well, I know a really big part of Magical Girl series, or just series in general, is the music part of it. So really what I would first suggest is, like, if you're making a Magical Girl series, look up Gotcha Magical Girl series openings and then go through the list and see which openings and which series have copyrighted songs. Pick a song from the ones that do not have copyrighted songs and then use one of those for the openings. Next is the music when it comes into the episode and editing. So I suggest like having a wide range of music. I have a very wide range of music for the episodes that I use. It really allows me to be versatile. Really, just what I'm trying to say is have a wide range of OSTs, which is original soundtrack songs, to play in the background. And I suggest playing music throughout the entire episode. Some people don't put music in certain scenes, and that works, but I feel like it works only when like it's a really serious like moment. Music really sets the tone. Music really adds like background and like depth to your voice. And especially if you're not that good of a voice actor yet, I feel like music in the background that fits the scene, like an actual OST playing in the background of the episode of the scene, really helps because it makes you sound, it really makes the voice and the acting come together, especially if you're a beginner. Sound effects, anime sound effects, just look up anime sound effects. If you want, or if you're making a transformation, look up Magical Girl transformation sound effects. It'll pop up, and then just download the music, and there, boom. Now number 6, transformations. The amount of times people have asked me, how do you do your transformations? I don't know how to help you guys with that. I'm gonna be honest. All I can really say is look at a Magical Girl anime transformation and try to replicate that. And the backgrounds, look up non-copyright, because you can actually get in trouble for this. Or you can use videos on like KineMaster or whatever editing software that you use. Use those backgrounds to make, or in the background of your transformation. And for fight scenes, please do fight scenes, guys. I can't technically complain too much because I don't do a whole bunch of fight scenes either, but I feel like it's pretty balanced because I feel like it gives it some sort of authenticity when you do fight scenes. So, and even if you're bad at it, it doesn't matter. Just do it. Like, you could look at the editing of episode 1 of PURA and then look at the episode current for PURA. It was such a huge change. So much better. But don't feel ashamed if your editing back then isn't as good as now. I feel as though a lot of people restart their series because they got better at editing. Honestly, if you want to seriously remake it, go ahead. But I think you should keep it because it shows that you've been working on something for a really, really long time. I don't know, I feel like it gives some sort of authenticity to your episode, and it just shows like how much you've grown. Next is finding backgrounds. I'll give a few. You could just like use backgrounds that are within Gacha Life because it's kind of hard to know if a background is copyrighted or not. So it's just better to use, obviously, backgrounds that are not copyrighted, which are like Gacha Club backgrounds, Gacha Life 2, Gacha Live backgrounds. There's even backgrounds on IBS Paint if you use that, or Clip Studio Paint. There's backgrounds on there. Use those because those are free to use. You could also go on Pinterest and like look up backgrounds that are for gacha, and those are typically free to use. So yeah, do that. Use Pinterest. Pinterest is gonna be your best friend. I'm telling you. When you're doing a gacha series, Pinterest is your best friend. Next point is make stuff dramatic, guys. Please. It's a series. You're supposed to have humor up in there. Make the scenes dramatic. Like, if you have to play the scene 3 times so you can really get the point across, play that scene 3 times. End of the story. Point 7? 6? 7? 6? I think it's 7. Point 7. Voice acting. Voice acting's honestly really fun. It's cringy, but it's fun. Like, let me start with point 1. Each character needs to have their own like type of voice. You need to make sure that your character's voice is recognizable. So Aya is very youthful. She's very like energetic and very forth-putting. So I try to make her voice sound very like pitchy.
Hopping and skipping like a bunny. I'm pure marshmallow.
Kid-like. And for example, Chuya is very soft-spoken. She has a very like sweet, peachy kind of voice.
As sweet as candy, as pretty as a butterfly. I'm pure pudding.
So I try to emulate that when I'm voice acting. Try to make it sound like their personality. And if you can't voice act, then you could do voice auditions. But I suggest using a Discord server to hold auditions if you don't want to voice act yourself. So just try to make sure your characters have their own kind of style. And the last point I want to bring up is, this is like number point eight. Staying consistent. Keep working on your series. Please, like I was saying before, even if you want to re-edit your series, like the first episode, I suggest not doing that, because I feel like you're wasting time having to re-edit all those episodes when you could have been just continuing your series. It's okay for you to have bad first episodes. So what I suggest is keep working on your series. Do not stop, unless obviously you need a break, or like life's happening, or you just don't really like gacha anymore, or like making series anymore. Of course, you come first, you can stop. But it's nothing that's actually really serious. Keep working on your series. Don't give up. And a little note from Swabble. You guys should try your best. Don't give up, just like Magical Girl Ani. Even though her transformation got interrupted, she's still trying to finish her transformation. And now I just really want to say thank you guys for supporting me for so long. Like, guys, it's been 3 years of Sugar Rush Pure. Like, that's actually kind of crazy. Like, 3 years? Like, dang, that makes me feel old. But honestly, I'm really grateful that you guys have stuck it through like this amount of time with me. The fact that it's been 3 years since it came out, and there's now, or it should be now, 30 episodes out is actually wild. And I really just want to appreciate and thank you guys for sticking with me through all this and supporting me, giving me suggestions. Like, truly, thank you. And I hope that this like tutorial, tips and advice kits video will help you guys to potentially get to 30 episodes just like I have. Like, truly, thank you. And I'll see you guys next time. Also, did you guys see that intro I made? Like, it kind of ate though, didn't it? It kind of ate though. It's the end of the video. Go home.